Alright YouTube, this is Q&A number 2 with Razon35. Alright guys, so this question is going to be, where's the best place to wire a voltmeter or to read the voltage from in a cardio setup? Alright, so let's start off, what is a voltmeter? So a voltmeter is basically a little device that reads your voltage. It could be from a 12 volt system, 14 volt system, or 16 volt system. So the most typical one is a 12 volt system, which is what most voltmeters will read. So in my honest opinion, the best place to read your voltage from is at your amplifier, because that's where you're getting your power from, to your subs. You don't want low voltage on your amplifier because it can cause damage, cause it to heat up and blow. So if you have, a lot of people run 2 voltage meters. For example, I run 2. I run one at the front battery and one at the rear at the amplifier. So the reason I do that is because your voltage is being generated at the alternator will always be highest there, and as you go through the wire and resistance plays a role, it decreases. So you will always have lower voltage at the rear. And a lot of people try to minimize this by running all OFC wire, running multiple runs, crimping instead of soldering, because crimping causes less resistance. But either way, you're always going to have less voltage in the back. An example why this is important: you're reading on your system, right, and you're dropping voltage. So you're reading your voltage from the front battery, and that's it. So you have your voltmeter, right, reading it. So say you're beating on it and it's dropping to like 12.5, right? Well, the thing is that in the back, without you knowing, your amplifier could be seeing 11.5 as after the current is being passed by and dropping. So rather than it being okay, it's actually causing really bad voltage for your amplifier. So that's another reason I recommend running it at the amplifier rather than the front. If you can't afford to run 2, then I guess you just running 2, but you don't have to. Just that the amp is good. So another advantage with the voltmeters is that they will let you know if your alternator is charging your batteries. There's people out there that, non-cardiac guys, just citizens or whatever, the city, like they'll be driving and the car will die. Well, it's because the alternator stopped working, so they're running just on the battery and it died. So it's really, some cars actually come with a stock voltmeter in the dash, So typical alternator, if it's charging, it'll be between 13.5 and 14.5. Typically you can go as far as 15.2 up in there for a 12 volt system. And yeah, like my alternator's died so many times, and I've known because my voltmeters tell me, like, don't be in the 12s when the car's running, and that's really bad. That means your alternator's not charging. That's another advantage with the voltmeter. So be sure to get one if you don't have one and you're running a cardio setup. It's very important, because you could be pounding on your system and not have a voltmeter and be like in the 11th and 10 volts, just no power, and your alternator's gonna probably blow up. So that's bad. So I really recommend voltmeters. That even a $2 one, it's not bad as long as you have something, And there's a variety of voltmeters you can buy, a shitload. Personally, I run Stinger. I've run it for years. And the only issue I've had is that, as Steve Mead and a lot of people have shown, is that it's kind of slow, whatever. But that's, in my opinion, that's kind of like a marketing strategy just to get you to buy other voltmeters, because it's not really that much of a difference. So they range from like $2, $1 to like $80, which is I think what the SME voltmeter cost. And don't get me wrong, it's pretty sick and everything, but it's kind of expensive. But I've seen people run it and it looks pretty cool. If you have that money, I'd recommend you do that. But a lot of people don't have the money to be buying expensive shit like that. But like myself, I don't have that kind of money. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all I need to know about voltmeters. It's a very useful tool. I recommend it to everybody running cardio systems. It also makes you look kind of like responsible, because you pay all this money for a system. You should be able to, or you should take care of it and monitor it as best you can. And as far as the wiring goes, basically it's just a power which you run to where you can read your voltage from, a ground, and a remote wire, which you can run to your stereo or an ignition switch. That's basically it. Mounting them is pretty easy, just mount it wherever you want, as long as it's secure. So yeah guys, this will wrap up this question. So let me know what other questions you have, and alright guys, this is Razon35, Q&A number 2. Alright guys, peace out, and drop the bass.